Right, now, the African Christian Democratic Party has condemned the killing of Councillor John Myaka. He was shot and killed in front of his parishioners at Nseleni Township in northern KwaZulu-Natal. The motive for the killing is not yet known. ACDP Deputy President Wayne Thring joins us now for more on this. Good to have you, and condolences to the party. And to those who are close to this councillor. As far as you can, I suppose, deduce at this particular point, was the life of the councillor under threat at all?
No, and I think that this is what makes it even more tragic, and that's the fact that our councillor, who also served as a pastor in the community of Nseleni, was well respected, well known, well loved, and when chatting with members of his family, one of his brothers, who's also in the ministry as a pastor, indicated that he's got no enemies. There are no enemies that they can speak of that their brother has, no threats that he's received that they know of, and so this is what makes the entire shooting incident such a mystery for us within the ACDP. Yeah. It is tragic. It is a heinous, barbaric act, particularly when perpetrated within a church building. And it seems as if there are those out there, the criminal element in South Africa, that with impunity are unafraid even to go into the house of God to attack and to kill people.
And because of his position, not only as a pastor but also as a PR councillor, you know, we always look at it, and in KwaZulu-Natal and the province having been going through a lot of political killings, if it is politically related, or it was an opportunistic crime, was anything else stolen or anybody else robbed in this incident?
No, this appears to have been an assassination. From the eyewitness report after speaking with the family, it appears as if there were gunmen who came to the door. They stood firstly at the door, at the entrance to the church service, while Pastor Myaka was conducting the service. And after a while, one of the gunmen then stepped in to the service and opened fire. He was behind Councillor Myaka was behind a glass pulpit. It shattered the pulpit, and they say about 4 shots were fired. He then fell to the ground on the pulpit area, and the perpetrator then proceeded right up to the pulpit and fired another shot at close range to ensure that he didn't survive. So this was cold-blooded, calculated, and it appears as if it was a hit that was put on our councillor.
Is there any particular matter he was working on, was investigating, that he had exposed within the council, or maybe something that he was certainly opposing in council that would have made someone unhappy with his position?
No, not to our knowledge. But however, the ACDP does have a position, a political position in terms of who we work with and who we don't work with in terms of cooperative governance at municipalities across the country. So there were other political parties, we were informed, that had offered him some positions. He refused those positions, and obviously were wanting for him to cross over, to come over to their side of the coalition. But he refused those particular positions, but that was probably about a year or so ago. But that's about it in terms of what we know, and his political any political instances that may have taken place. His work, if one looks at the report also from the municipality, he's had a high work ethic. Highly respected within the municipality by all councillors, and clearly there does not appear to be any motive at this stage for his killing.
Yeah. Certainly a huge loss for the party, for the organization, and the work that he was doing. Just maybe as you highlight the kind of diligent worker that he was, I mean, how huge a gap is this leaving for the party?
Well, absolutely. I think that, you know, when you understand that Pastor and Councillor Myaka was not only a councillor for the ACDP, but he was also a pastor within the Nseleni community. What that means is that his role, in a sense, almost doubles in importance, because not only is he playing a spiritual role, and to a large extent, pastors and ministers of the gospel have to be not only ministers of the word, but they are also ambulance drivers in terms of assisting in getting people to hospital. They are counselors. They are seen to be called upon for various needs within the community, just as an ordinary pastor. But here now you have not only a pastor, but also a counselor, who now deals with issues of rates and water and lights and service delivery issues within the community. So it's in effect a double whammy. It's a double blow to us within the ACDP, as well as to the community in which he served. And we are calling for no stone to be left unturned by SAPS to ensure that his perpetrators are brought to book, and that the full might of the law be applied to those who are caught. We certainly are hopeful that this is not going to be one of those cases that will drag on for years on end without any closure being given to the family and to the ACDP. Sadly, it must also be mentioned that this takes place in the midst of so much violent crime within KwaZulu-Natal. The police minister, Cele, was out in Pietermaritzburg, where some 10 people were shot just recently. And then about a week or so ago, we lost about 8 people at the Gliplands hostel just outside of Umlazi. And so very clearly, KwaZulu-Natal is a hotspot for crime and for murder. On the same day, a very close friend of ours lost a nephew who was walking on his way to school, robbed of his cell phone, and then shot dead at close range on the very same day that Councillor Myaka was killed. And so I think what we have is South Africans now living in fear for their lives because of the escalating levels of crime, bearing in mind that crime increased dramatically within the first quarter of this year, where murder rates exceed those in South Africa, at least for the first 3 months of this year, exceed those of the deaths in the Russia-Ukraine war, which is a stark telling of just the high level of crime that we are facing within South Africa. And SAPS and the police intelligence seem incapable of getting a grip or a handle on crime. And certainly from the side of the ACDP, we will continue to put as much pressure on government, on the justice system, the criminal crime-fighting units in South Africa, to increase their ability to arrest criminals.
Mr. Thring, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming on tonight here on In Focus. That's the ACDP Deputy President there, Wayne Thring.